you know where I'm going from all these conversations that I'm having, right? Next week, we have the ODI World Cup starting. What do you think are our chances?
Our chances are looking good now. I was not sure before the Asia Cup because a lot of guys were injured. Jasprit Bumrah, one of our main bowlers, coming back. But with the Asia Cup performances and now beating a top side like Australia, I think we're looking good. And I just feel the pressure is going to be different this time because this is no quarterfinal. You play everyone and you straight away go in a big game like semi-final.
Yeah.
And if you have a bad session in that game, you could lose the game. So the pressure is going to be very quick, very certain if India qualifies. So I just hope that the game time they will have in the 9, 11 games, 12 games, whatever they play, and on a big game, they're able to absorb that pressure.
What would you say your mindset preparation should be for these 9 to 11 games that you're going to play?
Well, I would say that play the situation, not the expectation. Because in our country, the expectation is India has come to win. India is only going to win. India beats Pakistan, we won the World Cup. You have to realize that people expectations always, they want their country to win because they will expect that from you because you're one of the best teams in the world. But the point is that if you are good enough to play the situation and sail through, I'm sure you will end up playing the World Cup final.
Let me put you on the spot then. Your top 4 semi-final teams would be?
Obviously India, I think Australia. So there is England, New Zealand and South Africa. I would probably say New Zealand and South Africa.
New Zealand and South Africa. So India, Australia.
I would pick 5.
Okay, you would pick 5.
Yeah.
Because you're Yuvraj Singh, we'll give you 5 as well. But let's ask you a couple of fun questions now. So tell me about the innovation in pranks, because you were the master prankster of the team along with Bajji. Give me a couple of these innovative pranks that you played.
Because Sourav Ganguly played a very bad prank on me when I was making my debut.
What did he do?
He told me that I'm going to open against Australia.
Wow.
And I had a sleepless night. And next day he's like, मैं ही open करता हूँ रे, मजाक कर रहा था तेरे साथ.
So were you happy at not opening or were you happy at not being given the opening slot?
I was very happy not opening because all night I dreamt about McGrath, Gillespie and Brett Lee bowling 150, 145, 140 at me. And then obviously I was like, okay, I didn't say anything to Dada. I was like, one day if I stay in the team, I will give it back. And then we were playing Pakistan in 2004. And me and Bajji made a false paper of Times of India where Dada's given false statements about his players, that he's not happy with his teammates and some guys are not supporting him. And obviously, we go in the morning, we tell the whole team we're going to play a prank on Dada because it's April Fool's Day, showing the paper, and Dada has obviously gone red in his face and he goes, I have not said this. If I have said this, I will resign just now. So he's walking towards the media to give a statement, and Rahul touches shoulder. April Fool's Day, Dada.
2007 and the next T20 World Cup is what I'd like your thoughts about. Not the 2007 T20 World Cup, but the 2007 ODI World Cup, where the team wasn't doing well. What do you think happened out there? Because on paper, that perhaps was the strongest team ever.
I mean, we didn't have a good atmosphere in the dressing room. When the team is not gelling together, results are not going to come by.
What does that mean, a good atmosphere? Because one would imagine that, there are kids who are just going out to play a game, and ideally there should be a happy atmosphere. That's what the average Joe thinks. But what is not a good atmosphere?
When kids going out there to play, they have a fearless mind. When adults go out to play, they have a fearful mind. So the atmosphere in the team means like the guys are not gelling, the decisions that are happening, people not agreeing with that. There are groups in the team, and there's not a good vibe, So all those things were happening. As I said, talk about Tendulkar, he was our best player. He was batting at number 4, which I don't think was the right decision at that time. But again, it's debatable. And then obviously, a lot of guys were dropped, and then they came back in the side just before the World Cup. So it was just not a good time in Indian cricket. And you learn from it and you move forward.
MS Dhoni usually does not speak much. You said in the game against Australia, while he was getting out, he walked past you and said, "Shabash, Yuvi, khatam karke aana."
Yeah, I think it was a very high pressure game. And normally, if you look at our stats, me and Mahi have had a lot of big partnerships.
Incredible ones. Yeah, we don't need to look at stats. We'll just jog our memory down, and our childhood has been colored with some great partnerships.
But also big games.
Big games as well.
Big games, and I remember. And the thing is that we lost to Australia 2003 World Cup final, and that's obviously playing in your mind. And then you're chasing 265. They got you 180 for 5, and Dhoni got out. And I remember him. Normally, if he gets out or I get out, we just go back to the dressing room, and he just walked past and he said, "Shabash, Yuvi." And I was like, yeah, there's no pressure here, and you just said that.
Tell me a couple of things that people have taught you, okay? I'll take some names. Mr. Anil Kumble, you call him the headmaster.
He was a hard taskmaster on the field. Like, I remember when me and Mohammad Kaif were fielding, we knew if the ball goes from us, he's going to have a go at us. So our job, guys who are 20, 21 in the park, is to break your body, but the ball should not pass you. So, you could see the guy would give 100%. I mean, remember Anil Kumble was bowling with a broken jaw in West Indies. So it's so inspiring to see a senior do that. If he can do that, then you need to learn to do that, right? So that was Anil Kumble for you, but a lovely guy off the field. We still joke around with him, and he laughs at us.
Virendra Sehwag, you spoke about him opening the innings, wham bam. Was he off the field the same as he was on the field, no holds barred?
Viru was a completely different guy. He would whistle off the field, he will whistle on the field while he's batting. He's someone who really it seemed like he didn't take much pressure on himself. Because if he's the kind of guy, if he had a look at the first ball, he would go after it. And he was very clear in his thinking that if I see the ball, I hit the ball. And a very relaxed guy off the field as well.
What was Ganguly's process like? Because everyone calls him the aggressive captain who backed all the youngsters and all of that and stuff. I'm sure there was method to the madness.
See, I think Sourav, obviously a very young captain, and had a lot of huge responsibility because after some controversies, a couple of younger guys came in the team and he really backed us. Like, we were not consistent, we were in and out of the team, but he knew that we had the talent, so actually he really supported us.
I will save this one for the last, and that is Mr. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Because you said you lifted the bat because of him, you started admiring cricket because of him. So what were the few things that you learned from him?
Me and my dad will always bet every game how much Sachin will score, and seen him play since a very young age, and my father would say, if he can play at 16, you can play at 14. I was like, my dad's got really high hopes from me. So learning, I think, very humble human, always there as a senior. It took a long time to get close to him, because by the time I came to the side, he was already a legend at a very young age. And I remember I sat in the dressing room for the first time, and I opened my kit bag and I had a picture of Sachin, and he was sitting next to me.
Wow.
And he looked at my coffin and he goes, "Nice picture. Who's that guy?" And he started laughing. So I think broke the ice. That's how I was able to speak to him. And obviously over the years, I have a relationship with him where I can go and speak to him about my life, about my struggles. Obviously my struggles of batting, I would always go and sort out with him. So I think he was kind of my mentor in the team